Good night, everyone. We all know the struggle. You've got big dreams, a list of goals, and the excitement to match. But soon, the fire fades, and before you know it, consistency becomes a distant idea, something you once tried, but couldn't quite maintain. Consistency isn't something we can force through sheer willpower alone. If it were, we'd all be consistent with every task we set out to do. The reality, however, is that motivation fades over time. There will always be days when you feel exhausted, distracted, or simply uninterested in pushing forward. And when those days come, it's easy to give up. But there is one powerful force that can keep us consistent, as something much deeper than motivation: your why. When we talk about the concept of why, we're speaking about the underlying purpose that drives you to pursue something in the first place. This is more than just a goal or a desire. It's the reason that connects to your values, your core beliefs, and your larger vision for your life. This deeper understanding of your purpose is what fuels long-term consistency. It's what pulls you through the tough moments, when the initial excitement of starting something new has worn off, and the process feels like a grind. When you understand your why, it becomes a guiding force that transcends the fleeting emotions we experience. Motivation ebbs and flows, and willpower can only take you so far. If your actions aren't aligned with something meaningful to you, then eventually, you will lose interest and drop off. But when your daily actions are tied to a sense of purpose that resonates with you deeply, consistency becomes less about forcing yourself to do something and more about fulfilling a greater purpose. Take a moment to reflect on this. Why do you want to achieve your goals? Why is it important for you to stay consistent? The answer to these questions will serve as the foundation for your consistency. If your why is rooted in something that truly matters to you, like improving your health for the sake of your family, building a career that gives you fulfillment, or learning a new skill to expand your potential, then those days when motivation is low won't stop you. You'll push forward because your purpose is more significant than the obstacles in your path. Without a strong sense of your why, consistency is often a struggle. But when your actions are driven by a deeper understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, it becomes a powerful and sustainable force. It helps you navigate the challenges, stay grounded, and show up even when the motivation isn't there. Consistency doesn't require willpower alone. It requires a connection to something meaningful enough to keep you going, day after day. And that's why knowing your why is the first step in mastering consistency. When it comes to consistency, one of the biggest mistakes we make is trying to tackle everything at once. We set grand goals that seem overwhelming and often unrealistic. We want instant results, and we believe that we need to achieve everything in a single leap. But the truth is, consistency doesn't come from big, sweeping actions. It comes from breaking down those goals into small, manageable steps that we can repeat every day. The key to building consistency lies in focusing on small, repeatable habits. Rather than aiming for massive changes or trying to complete a huge project in one go, it's about showing up every single day, even if the step you take is small. These small actions, when repeated over time, add up to significant progress. It's the compound effect of consistent effort that leads to real, lasting change. Consider any major achievement or goal, whether it's getting in shape, learning a new skill, or writing a book. None of these happen overnight. If you expect to see results right away, you'll quickly become discouraged. But if you break these large tasks down into bite-sized habits, each one becomes easier to manage. For example, instead of saying, "I want to lose 20 pounds, start by committing to something simple, like walking for 15 minutes each day. That small action is easy to do and doesn't feel intimidating. Over time, as you build that habit, it can evolve into something bigger, such as exercising for 30 minutes or adopting a healthier eating routine. The beauty of small habits is that they are sustainable. They don't require monumental willpower or drastic effort. You can focus on showing up every day, and over time, you'll realize that the little things you've been doing consistently have led to major results. More importantly, Small habits are flexible and adaptable. If you miss a day or face a setback, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to start all over again. You simply pick up where you left off and keep going, because the habit itself is already established. Building small, repeatable actions isn't just about achieving the goal, it's about becoming the person who achieves it. Consistency doesn't come from making one big push, it comes from committing to doing something every day, no matter how small. So, rather than focusing on grand goals that might feel out of reach, focus on the habits that will get you there, step by step. The power lies not in what you do once in a while, but in what you do every single day. The process itself will carry you forward. In conclusion, consistency isn't about brute force or relentless willpower. It's about understanding your deeper purpose, the why that drives every action you take. When you connect your efforts to something meaningful, it gives you the strength to keep going, even when motivation wanes. But knowing your why is only half the battle. The other half is breaking your goals into small, repeatable habits that you can show up for every day. These tiny actions, when done consistently, build momentum and lead to real progress. The key to success is not in big, overwhelming leaps, but in the small, everyday steps that, over time, transform your life. So, start with your purpose, break it down into manageable habits, and commit to showing up every day. Consistency will follow, not because you're forcing it, but because you're making it a natural part of who you are. So, start with your why, break it into the simplest of actions, and commit to showing up, no matter how small the step. In doing so, you'll build a consistency that sustains you not just for today, but for a lifetime. Thank you.